All right, welcome back to the Draw Fairway to Green podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Nathan, and we're going to be talking about some of the events that happened this past week on DP World Tour, the LPGA Tour, and the PGA Tour. Let's start with the LPGA Tour. Charlie Hull gets her third career win at the Kroger Championship. She finished second at this event, was it 2 years ago, to Minjee Lee?
Yeah.
So has success at this event again. Third career win. That's kind of what stood out to me is she's all over the social media. She's one of the most well-known LPGA players, and it's only her third win. To me, I don't know if this is controversial or not. She's kind of the Ricky Fowler of the LPGA. Again, Ricky Fowler has I think five wins, and he's was one of the poster boys for the PGA for a long time. I know he struggled in years past, but he's just kind of won like his peers. He hasn't won like his peers. He's not in the same breath as Justin Thomas and Ricky Fowler and Xander Schauffele. He performed well in majors the one year, fiving in all four of them. Five career wins though for someone with all the hype. I mean, that's kind of Charlie Hull at this point. I mean, she's great. She's been great at the Solheim Cup. She's a great personality and she's definitely helped the game and draws fans in. But as far as like tournament success, I mean, at the end of the day, like your career is based on wins. And right now, three is just it's fine. It's a good career. I don't think she'd be happy with it if her career ended next week with three. But that's kind of where I went with it. I mean, she played great. I mean, birdie the last three of the four, I think it was to win. Really good finish, but I just like couldn't help but draw that comparison to Ricky Fowler.
Right. I don't think there's anything wrong. I mean, she's battled with injuries this year. I know at one of the major championships, she withdrew because she like passed out in the middle of the round or was going to faint in the middle of the round. I think she was dealing with a knee injury like the last few weeks. So her last start on the LPGA tour was at the AIG Women's Open, and she was the runner up there. I think she has quite a few runner ups over the last few years. So I would say she's kind of like the Tommy Fleetwood, except that she does have the two wins before this week. Um, she's on social media. I see her with Taylor, the Team TaylorMade kind of stuff. I see her on like Twitter. She's doing photo shoots. So big personality. So I do agree with you that the Ricky Fowler thing. I think Ricky Fowler kind of, I don't know, maybe the last few years he isn't really like a loud personality kind of guy. I know he is, like he's got the swagger, the orange, but I know Charlie Hull, she's kind of like very vocal about it, and I feel like the little differences. But I do agree where you're coming from with the 3 wins, 5 wins, kind of not no really no major championships, but you see her and you see him everywhere. And I think, and also this week was an excellent tournament. I know the tournament was in Hamilton Township, Ohio, like Ohio, but Ohio, they love their sports there. I know the PGA Tour event, I believe they have an event there. The Memorial, I believe, is in Ohio.
Yeah,
Uh,
great event. Great event.
Amazing event. And I mean, Charlie Hull, she kind of was get to the win. I mean, she played well, but Gino with a 4 putt on the last hole, to kind of with a 2 shot swing. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's her. It's her fourth runner-up this season. There has not been a different winner this year. There's 25 different winners on tour this season. No person has won twice or more.
Yeah, I saw that and I'm like, wow, like I know last year, right, was the year of Nelly winning multiple times, and this year's kind of been the year of parity almost in a way where you have all these different winners. And again, I that's not a bad thing. Like, and neither was Nelly winning all that last year. Like, I'm not saying either way is fine. I mean, we've seen it on the PJ Tour, Scotty winning six plus times the last 2 years. Like, there's still other headlines. And again, I think this is another good headline. Like, when your stars win and play better, it just drives social media engagement, TV viewership, all that. Like, I think if maybe someone like Charlie Hull can go on a little bit of a run and maybe win another time before the season ends or two more times, like I think that would be great. I mean, again, yeah, the world number one for putting on the last you said,
Very, very surprising.
that's I mean,
That
that's
can't
a tough
happen.
one. I mean,
That cannot
that's
happen.
something I do out playing around with my friend. I don't expect the world number one to do that. But yeah, I mean, looking at Hull's season. I mean, you said she finished second at her last event. Her event before that, also second. So her last three events, she's finished in the top two. So, I mean, she's getting healthy, it sounds like. And if she gets healthy, I mean, she's a serious contender to get to that world number one, I think. I think she could get
Absolutely.
there. It's going to take a couple more weeks of finishing high, but again, I think the sky's the limit. I think she could get into that conversation with the Nelly Corda and up in that top five in the world.
For sure. And I kind of want to go back to what you said about the different winners and the star power. The star power has definitely been there. There's been all these top players at the top of the leaderboard, but none of them have won twice. Like for example, this weekend, Lottie Wood was finished in third. Miyu Yamashita, Women's Open winner, she was in fourth. Nelly Korda, fifth place. So all the big names are up there, but a different winner just every week with the rookies, these veterans too, like they're finding a way to win, but not just the top players each week. But it's been very entertaining. I mean I love watching the tournaments.
Yeah, I mean, if we talk about some bad putting on the 18th green, we can kind of segue over to the PGA Tour and Ben Griffin, man, he did everything right on the 18th hole. Hit a great drive, hit a great second, hit a good third shot to set him up for a birdie to tie Scotty and go to the playoff. And he just yanked it. And Scotty ends up beating him by one to come back. Griffin kind of looked like he was going to kind of pull away after the second round, and then Scotty fires the best round of the day Saturday to vault up there to get. I think he started the day two shots back of Griffin. Man, I think Griffin's going to really be kicking himself for that one.
No, I think so too. He was in a position to win. And I mean, you know who you have to beat when you go to these tournaments. Scotty Scheffler is the guy to beat, and he's inevitable. But as long as you minimize the mistakes, if you're in that position to win, you have a very good chance. Ben Griffin is a great player. Obviously, he's on the Ryder Cup team, but you can't make mistakes and let Scotty in. Kind of like how McIntyre at the BMW, you can't just keep Scotty around. You got to put him away when you have the chance.
Yeah, I mean, I got a feel for some of these guys that kind of play this fall event who need the FedEx Cup points, who need the world ranking points, who this is kind of their chance at the win, or the Corn Ferry guys that kind of struggle throughout the year trying to keep their card. And all of a sudden you have the 10 US Ryder Cup. Like, I don't think any of them play this event if Keegan doesn't say to. Like, maybe one does like for a sponsor thing, like maybe Ben Griffin does, or one of the lesser name guys like a Harris English, maybe like you're at someone who isn't the star power name like Scotty or GT, but like they're just trying to play because they like golf. I mean, I feel bad like Lanto Griffin, right? He hasn't won. I know he's won once on the PGA Tour, has really struggled the last couple of years, and he shoots 17 under and loses to Ben Griffin and Scotty Scheffler. Like, again, like that's I feel for some of these guys, but I think it's good for the U.S. Ryder Cup team. I think them playing just is a good tune-up for them in 2 weeks because who knows what they've been doing since the Tour Championship, and if they just go to Bethpage without playing any competitive golf, I don't think that bodes well for them. But yeah, I mean, the other good thing, I think Keegan's got to be happy with the week. All 10 guys made the cut,
I
right?
think
So
Keegan is very happy with that. I know on the European side, not everyone there made the cut or and really play. I mean, Justin Thomas was towards the bottom of the leaderboard, even though
yeah,
he made the
so
cut.
I looked at it and he finished T69 and
59,
only
yeah.
three people finished below him. So, real quick, if I go over the U.S. Ryder Cup where they finished, Scheffler obviously won, Griffin second, J.J. Spawn was in sixth, Cam Young in ninth, Sam Burns in 13th, Henley T19, Cantley T30, English and Morikawa T43, and JT, like we said, in 69th. So outside of English, Morikawa, and Thomas, a good week. Cantley T30 is fine. I would have liked to see him play better. I think I would have liked Morikawa to play better too. I think those two guys who kind of have been getting some backlash of being on it, but them getting on it based on past Ryder Cups. And I get But like JJ Spawn, again, that's another solid finish for a guy who's just
JJ
had a
Spawn is
career
so
year.
JJ Spawn is so good, and he's so good at golf. He's gonna be the one of the best Ryder Cup players on this U.S. side. He is so good at golf. And another thing, Ben Griffin was there was some criticism and maybe some controversy of Ben Griffin making the team. I know we went over this, but Keegan Bradley was saying some guys might not make it. But Ben Griffin following that up at the next tournament with a runner up to Scotty Scheffler. I mean, that's gotta feel. I mean, I know he didn't win, but I know there's got to be some confidence that the U.S. team and Ben Griffin is going to take away from this tournament.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, I said, I mean, he stared down Ben Griffin stared down Scotty Scheffler at the Memorial, lost. That's okay. He's the world number one for a reason. You're going
Scotty
toe to
Scheffler.
toe him at all. That's great. It's only going to help him. Again, I think I saw he's second to Scotty Scheffler with top tens this year. I think him and someone else were tied with like third or 11 top tens. All right. So, like, yeah, I mean, he was relatively unknown last year, and he's burst on the scene this year with the two wins and all the top 10 finishes, and now the Ryder Cup pick. But I think now, before this week, and even I'd be like, yeah, he probably plays best ball and singles. He playing the max fly ball is just, can he get an alternate shot? But after this weekend, I think he's made a case to Keegan, like, hey, I think I can play more than three times. And I would have loved to know that team room, because I know that Keegan and Jim Furyk and Brant Seneca, Gary Woodland all were in a house this week together, and they were having the Team USA guys. I know they had a dinner one day there, like a barbecue dinner, and I heard they went out to some fancy restaurant down in Napa for another. Bryson was there, did not go to the PGA Tour event. Probably good, smart idea, but I know he was
I
at those
agree.
team events. Xander, not. He had a birth of his first child, so that makes sense. Go be with your wife and your son.
Definitely.
But again, like I wonder how Griffin was like. Were they after Saturday's round? Were Griffin and Scotty hanging out in the house, and Griffin just like, I'm taking it down tomorrow? I wonder how that all that was, but
I'd like to
again,
think they were hanging out. No offense to the Procore, but it's in September. These guys, like obviously they just want to play some golf to get ready for the Ryder Cup. I mean, after the Tour Championship, all these guys they wanna be on vacation, like with some wine. I mean, the season is a grind, but they like Keegan Bradley saying you got to go out there and play at Napa Valley, and the course is different from Bethpage. However, they're playing golf, so there you can't be. And we expect to see the U.S. Ryder Cup team at the top of the leaderboard, and they delivered. The European side, however, they Alex Noren won. He's I think a assistant captain.
yeah.
So I think that's pretty funny. I mean, Patrick Reed I think finished ahead of I think all the guys in the European team, which is also pretty funny.
Yeah. Before we go over to the DP World Tour, I want to talk about the person who finished. I think he finished fourth. Jackson Koefoot, the amateur. He's rising junior at Auburn. He's won the Ben Haskins Award his freshman year. He's won a national championship. He was just on the winning Ryder or Walker Cup team. In his last three PGA Tour starts, or last four, he's finished no lower than T11. So at the John Deere, T11,
That's
ISCO
insane.
Championship, T6, Wyndham Championship, T5, this past week, T4. All right. Now he missed the cut at the US Open, but Oakmont was
That
so
was
hard. So
yeah.
that's fine. But like, he already has his tour card through the PGA Tour U. He's said he's going to at least stay through his junior year. And the way he sounds, he may stay all 4 years. I was listening to a Smiley show. He had him on, and he said he really wants to win an individual championship at the college level, and he just wants to enjoy his time in college. He said he has to get better in chipping and all that. He says he doesn't think he's ready for the game, but
I don't know,
boy,
man. I don't
just
know.
three straight top six finishes, and then a T11 the other start. I mean, I don't know the money. I should have calculated the money he would have had if he was a pro, but boy, we talk about it on the LPGA tour with the young talent, and we talk about it some with Luke Clanton, who was just burst on the scene last year, kind of in this Koivu spot, and now he's turned pro. Who hasn't done much since turning pro, but again, all the changes, like, I'm not worried about him. And this kid, I mean, if you watch him, like, he hits the ball far, he hits it straight. He's a good putter. Again, I just it'd be hard for me if I was in his position to not turn pro right now. And I get
I
it with
could, yeah,
I
I
get it with
completely
the
understand.
NIL. The
Hmm.
NIL, he's probably making $500,000, if not more. So
I'm
why
I'm
not
sure
stay
he's making
there?
a good amount of money
Yeah,
staying in
but
college.
I don't know. It would be tough for me to go back to. You're right. I gotta go to my 8 a.m. class. I just finished
I
fourth.
guarantee
I
you, he's
just
not
beat
having.
Justin Thomas by 15 strokes, and now I'm going to Auburn and I'm taking a statistics class. Like, I don't know. I get it. I College is fun, and he wants to win the individual championship. He won a national championship already. Auburn's good. It's a great facility there. Again, with NIL, he's probably making it enough money, and he's gonna get sponsor exemptions into some of these tournaments. I'm pretty sure he's playing in the Sandersons in October. So again, it's not the last time he'll play in a PGA Tour event. He'll have access, but boy, I mean, this kid is good. And like in 2 years, if he was on the Ryder Cup team, if he's kind of like that Ludwig Oberg for us, like that wouldn't shock me at all.
No, not at all. This kid is extremely talented, and I mean, I can see why he would like to stay in college. Obviously, getting a college degree, very, very good thing in life. However, with the money that he could be making in professional golf, and keep in mind the guys he's playing against, like although it is September, these guys are professional golfers. They are making their living playing golf, and he's showing up there straight off a college campus and going no worse than T11. That is extremely impressive. And with the sponsors exemptions, I know NIL. I mean, the athletes in college, no offense, they're not going there for school. Like he most likely he does not have any 8 a.m.s. He's probably taking some online classes. I'd have to speculate, um, but I think that he could be playing some professional golf right now and putting up these performances. I would not be surprised if he next, maybe even this winter, if he can get on. He has a PGA Tour card. He could show up at some of these events. I wouldn't be surprised if he just says, "Screw college. I want to play golf."
Yeah, I wonder if it'd be a case where I know like the NCAAs end around May, so maybe he waits till May and then hits that summer, kind of that May, June area and just plays the rest of the year. Does he wait till September? Does he want to play another Walker Cup? Does he want to play in another US amateur event? I don't know. Again, if he wins the individual championship, he's finished second and fourth his freshman and sophomore year. So like it should happen at some point. I mean, two top five finishes and two chances is underclassmen, phenomenal. If he wins it, I don't. I mean, yeah, if he wants to win the USAM, but that's such a hard tournament to win. To like hold off your pro career just to try to win that tournament seems crazy. But again, I'm not him. I'm thinking as someone who knows what the PGA Tour and what it gets you if you win on the PGA Tour, and now the money that comes with it, with all the signature events. If he can get into those or gets a win similar to Nick Dunlap, who has two wins already. I mean, again, another young guy who won as an amateur and then he won again the same year. Struggled this year, but he's young. He's learning how
Yeah,
to
I know he
travel
had
on the
some swing
road.
changes he was going through.
Yeah.
Like the Masters was kind of
Oh,
that
yeah.
was that was
Yeah,
pretty rough.
I saw him. I went down to the Arnold Palmer this year. I saw him. It may have been the fifth or sixth hole, and he hit a ball so far right, and like he knew it right away. Like before, like seconds after the ball hit his club, he's asking his caddy for a ball. I mean, it was bad. Some of the swings I saw, but again, he's won twice, and he's 22. Like these young guys are winning at a crazy rate when they come out at so young. So I think the sky's the limit for him. I think after May, I think he probably should turn pro. Willie, I don't know, but just he's going to be really good. And again, this young generation of Clanton and him, there's that Blades Brown guy who decided to forego college and try to turn pro, kind of like what Akshay Bhatia did. I think you're going to start seeing some more younger winners like the LPGA Tour here on the PGA Tour.
I'm excited for it. The PGA Tour does need, although Scotty Scheffler dominance is exciting. May some could argue it could be a little boring with the same guy winning. However, like the LPGA Tour, all these young talents, like you mentioned, and the tournaments have been very exciting to watch. So all these young guys on the PGA Tour, I'm excited for the next few years, and especially and even 2 years the Ryder Cup at in Ireland. That would be
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah. So speaking of across the pond, the DP World Tour had their kind of flagship event, the BMW PGA Championship. It's at Wentworth every year. It's a great course, great event. There were some PGA Tour players that played in it. Again, 10 or is it 11 of the 12 European players played. Set Straka didn't. I don't.
Oh, what's going
I
on
didn't see
there?
any reason given. I know he missed the one playoff event due to the family thing at home, so maybe it's that. I don't know. Again, it looked like Hatton was going to win. He was the leader after 3 rounds, and then just didn't have a great Sunday. He finished, I mean, 2 under on Sunday was fine. Alex Noren, like you said, the vice captain, he won the playoff versus Adrian Sadier. This is Noren's second time winning in his last 3 starts. He also won the British Masters at the end of August. Um, there was some question like, does he maybe play? And I think if Hogarth doesn't get that last spot as an automatic pick, I think Noren would have had a case over someone like Fitzpatrick or Lowry or Straka even. I mean, 2 wins. He played well in the PGA Championship. I know he's coming back from hip surgery, so he hasn't played a lot this year. But again, 2 wins in his last 3 starts is pretty good. He's a good. He's played on Ryder Cup teams. I think he'll be great as a captain or as assistant captain. But another good finish on the DP World Tour, another playoff. Rory McIlroy, another eagle putt on 18 to close out his round. Didn't really mean much, just moved him up some spots. But again, Luke Donald probably happy with some of his guys' finish. They did have 2 guys miss the cut. Well, Rasmus missed the cut, and then McIntyre missed the third round cut. So the DP World Tour has this rule where if there are more than 84 players that make the original cut, they do another cut after the third round. So McIntyre made the original cut, missed the second cut after the third round at like -2. Rasmus missed it, the first cut. Real quick, those finishes. So T5, Fitzpatrick, Hovland, Hatton. Fitzpatrick just keeps racking up the
Yeah,
top 10, top
they've got to
fives.
be really happy with Fitzpatrick
Yeah.
the last few
I
weeks.
mean,
He's been very good.
he was bad too at the beginning there. And I think I saw he dropped as far as 80 in the world golf ranking. Now he's back up into the 30s. Hovland, again, another good week. He played well last week too. His driver's been okay. And obviously we know his struggling with chipping and putting,
The
but
putting has not been
yeah,
there.
but he'll play well, I'm sure. Pair him with Oberg and they'll do well. John Rahm, T13, Rory and Oberg, T20, Fleetwood, Lowry, T46. Fleetwood struggled. He got to the cut on the number. I know DP World Tour is kind of following him on Twitter, going like posting shot for shot to see if he made it. So that was pretty cool to watch. Justin Rose, T61. Again, probably not his best finish. You would have liked more. McIntyre T74 after the third round cut, and Rasmus missed cut. As soon as this tournament ended, they jumped on a plane and they've been in Bethpage Monday and Tuesday. I think I read that they played 9 holes each day. Little scouting trip, and then they'll go their own way. And then I think reconvene in 2 weeks. None of them are playing in the DP World Tour event this week. I think it's the French Open. I think I saw. Is it? Let me look that up real quick. Yeah, FedEx Open. Where'd it go? I just had it. Let's see. Yeah, FedEx Open Day France. None of them playing in that. There's no PGA Tour event. So kind of the Ryder Cup players after a week of a tune-up, get a break, and then they'll probably start heading to Bethpage probably end of this weekend. I would think Sunday, Saturday they'll start getting there and they'll play some 9 hole things, and there's no pro-am, nothing like that. Get the practice rounds in, get the pairings in. But again, this European team, they didn't have as good of a week as the PGA Tour players did, but I just think that there are less concerns or less uncertainties on that team than Team USA.
Right. As much as I would love to buy into the results this weekend that were like Scotty Scheffler first, Ben Griffin second, and over on the European side, McIntyre and Højgaard missed the cut, and I could be all about that. How the Americans are coming into form, but in reality, the Ryder Cup is an entirely different beast. There is nothing like the Ryder Cup really in professional golf. You've got guys like Justin Rose out there who they've been in these situations for. They've had these experiences and I think when they get out there and they get step when they walk up to that first tee box, doesn't matter how they've been playing the last few weeks. It's just, are you good and can you rise up to the moment in the Ryder Cup?
Yeah, I mean, I think it, I I don't know what to expect with some of these. Like again, JJ Spawn is great. He delivered at Oakmont. That's probably the most pressure he's been in his career, and he delivered. But the Ryder Cup is different, and I know it's a home Ryder Cup, but still, it's different. Like as rookies, I know Oberg's never played in a away Ryder Cup. Rasmus Højgaard's never played in any Ryder Cup at all. Like it's tough. So like it's gonna be interesting. It's a different beast. The alternate shot is just different. Like, can you and your partner put burgers together or put pars together? Can you save each other? Four ball again is more normal. That's just go out, try and make a ton of birdies. Singles matches are always fun. Um, and again, the New York crowd, I'm interested. To me, I don't know. People say, oh, it's going to be so raucous, so crazy. To me, I think what the price
I'm
tickets are,
I don't know. I
I
saw
think it may
the
be too much
tickets.
of a corporate event. I don't
I
know.
I agree with you on that one. I feel like if the tickets were cheaper and like the real like home crowd of New York and they're able to go, they will give it to you. That you see Yankees fans, Rangers fans, Mets fans, Giants fans, Giants and Jets, they 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 are raw. They tell exactly
Yeah.
how it is and they will be in your ear the entire match. But with these price of tickets, maybe you don't see as much of that.
Yeah, I know it's unfortunate, but I know it is a business. The PGA of America wants to make money. I get it, but boy, do I wish they just went to local golf courses and handed out tickets or something just to get the fan there. I will say I've been at President Cup. It's not the best viewing experience. There's just not a lot of people playing golf. So when the morning matches go out, the first group, everyone there is around that first hole and just it's hard unless you're in the grandstands and you're watching the tee shots. But still, it's going to be cool. I know we'll talk about it more next week, especially with it being so close. Maybe we'll get into more pairings or what we think pairings could be for four ball and alternate shot. Maybe one last prediction to see who we think will come out. We'll maybe have a little more information on, or we'll have maybe pairings or thoughts of pairings through media. I'm sure Team Europe has done their due diligence. I know they're very analytical. Um, though they've probably had their pairings set for a while. Keegan, I think, has leaned into it a little more compared to Zach Johnson from what it sounds like in his interviews.
No one
Um,
knows what Zach Johnson was doing. Not even
yeah,
Zach
yeah.
Johnson.
Poor Zach Johnson's gonna get ricochet shots for I don't
Deserved.
know.
Still
Yeah, I mean it was just
deserved.
bad.
So bad.
Um, so yeah, next week there's DP World Tour event again, the FedEx Day Open France, and then the LPGA event. So the LPGA event is in Arkansas. It's the Walmart NW Arkansas Championship. It's played at Pinnacle Country Club. It's been played at this golf course since 2000 and was it seven? Yes. Yep. Yeah, 2007. It's been played at this Pinnacle Country Club. Again, some notable players in it. Nelly Corda's in it. Lottie Wood's in it. Hannah Green's in it. Lauren Coughlin's in it. So again, a good field. Not as good as the field last week, but still, the players they're gonna be there
Tournaments are always
again.
good. Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely check it out.
yeah. And based on what we've seen this year, again, if you're someone who likes to watch, I'd look at some of the rookies and someone who hasn't won yet this year. So if you
Yeah.
are
So
one to put some
chances
bets
are it's not going
down,
to be a repeat winner.
yeah, no, I mean, no. What I has Nelly won this year?
Has she won?
I don't. Let me
I don't
see.
actually know. That's a great
I know
question.
she was.
She was up there in a few big tournaments. Like she was near the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah.
I think she's been a couple runner ups, but I don't know if she's
Because
actually
if
won
she
before.
hasn't won, then there's your let's see. Yeah, no, her last win was last November. So yeah, she hasn't won yet this year. So if she came out on top on Sunday, would not be shocked to see that at all. Again, world number two, one of the best American golfer probably right now on the women's side. Has a strong case for to be the world number one, but I think Gino's kind of taking that over with how well she's played this year. Um, I'd say Nellie's got to be the favorite. I would think she's the highest ranked player in that field. So yeah, go check that out. I didn't see any TV updates on that. I know the one week they had stuff on ESPN Plus. I don't know if they have that again. It's probably just on Golf Channel. So go check that out. And
Yeah,
again,
the viewing stuff will be in the article in the story the preview I'll be posting tomorrow or when this drops. So check that out.
yeah, again, yeah, check out Fairway to Green. I know we have some stuff on the Ryder Cup coming out next week. We have the reviews from last week, Brian's preview of this week. I have an article coming out about the New Mexico Open, a little PGA section championship down in New Mexico. Should be interesting. They have a couple interviews coming out too of Matt Every and his golf apparel company, Live Forever Golf. That should be dropping on the website soon. Yeah, go check our website out. Again, like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Like these YouTube videos. Comment on any pairings for the Ryder Cup or who you think could win the Ryder Cup or some sneaky underdog picks for the Ryder Cup as well. We'll be back with you next week. We'll preview the Ryder Cup probably more in depth next week as there's really only one LPGA event. Get in some pairings and our final predictions. All right. Have a good week. See you next week.